Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. This is number 5 of the podcast, and so happy to be here with you guys. It has been a couple weeks actually because of the topic that I wanted to talk about. And it is an important one because so many of us think that things have to be a certain way for us to move forward. Like we have to, everything has to align right for us to be happy. Everything has to be going the right way in order for us to step forward and do what we're meant to do. And I'm just here to remind you that more importantly than things needing to be a certain way, it's more important definitely that we need to be in presence, in the moment, in the now, dropping into how you're feeling and your heart space. There are so many things that I feel like I could have shared over the last few weeks, but because I was feeling like I wanted it to be perfect, that I kind of feel like I was holding myself back a little bit, and I was stepping out of my now moment. I was stepping out of my presence, and the overthinking that comes along, the um, feeling overwhelmed, all the different things that pull us out of the now moment and pretty much out of our happiness, out of our being okay, out of our ease, our grace. Yeah, it's like, why do we stay in those states of suffering when it's really is purely a choice? Now, that doesn't mean that we aren't going to move through stuff and things aren't going to be challenging and the stuff that comes up isn't challenging, but let's be present with it. Let's accept it. Let's be where we are and love ourselves through it. Love the other people around us through it. It's this really gets into the depth of the whole purpose of my podcast and sort of what I've been envisioning and knowing for a few years now. It's the way we move through things is the most important. Things in the outside world, things within yourself are going to get challenging and triggering and uncomfortable, but it truly is how you choose to move through it. And it's about staying in that state of being. So, like, no matter what you're going through, you can go through it with, you feel so whole and complete within yourself and so sovereign, remembering your power, remembering your wholeness, remembering your purpose, remembering how loved you are, basically giving it to yourself over and over, remembering, renewing, um, so that you can keep your focus in an expansive place of, okay, whatever's coming up, whatever I'm moving through, it's happening for me to look within myself, to know what's going on, and to choose myself, choose love over and over again. It feels like we're untangling from, we're moving out of so many uh, ways of being. And a lot of it's very controlling. It's almost like the way to move through things, we're moving out of feeling the need to control things around us and rather instead move into a surrendering into wholeness. Because we have been taught living in this reality time space. Many of the families we were brought up in, many of the systems we were brought up in, the schools, the environments around us, just society in general, have programmed, there's certain things that you need in your life and they're important. And those are the most important in order for you to be safe, in order for you to be okay. Um, and we've been so pulled out of our wholeness and who we are that it's it's challenging. You get stuck in the mind and the mentality and the materialism of this place. And I'm just here to remind you that there's a different way to go through it. And when you go through it in the other way that I'm trying to move us into, I feel like this isn't just Daphne's way. I mean, it is not. It's a knowing of how we're meant to move through this in in times to come, because things are so hard. There's so much going on. We live in this place where everything's kind of coming apart at the seams and challenging us. And how are we supposed to move through that? Do you want to move? How do you want to move through that? And this brings me into another thing I was going to bring up is I've really been noticing what I don't want to do anymore. And then, on the other end of it, what I do want to be doing. So I just challenge you to look at your life and see, what are you doing in your life that you don't want to do anymore? And it could be everything from an outward thing in your relationships. It could be something inward within yourself. Um, It could be a little bit of both. For me, it's a little bit of both. I'm just paying attention. Mostly it has to do with myself. And this is the other reminder of when we're focusing outward on everyone else, that's not how things are going to change for you. Things are going to change for you when you change what's going on within you. When you look, not even change, just observe what's going on within you. Because oftentimes, just by observing and recognizing it, and then knowing what you want and intending, focusing on the things you want rather than the things you don't have, because I think that's a tendency and a trap, a mind trap that many of us are stuck in. And it's like, why are things not changing? Why are things not the way I want them to be? Well, it's because our our emotions, our feelings, our mind is not lining up to what we want to be creating in our lives. If we're focusing on the things we don't want to create, then, or that we're not creating, then you're pulling yourself away from it. So it's just a reminder to go inward and renew yourself and your intentions. And what do I not want to be doing? And what do I want to be doing? And maybe do some little adjustments there. But yeah, this is really about the way through. There's a way to move through things in your life, and there's an old way that we're ready to move out of. So if you can come back into your heart space, remember to take those breaths as needed. Find some time, 5-10 minutes throughout your day that you can set aside once, twice, 3 times, however many times, and just bring yourself back into stillness. Bring yourself out of the mind traps, the mind, back into your heart space. There's this beautiful integration when you come to this calm space of, whether you want to call it 0 point, still point, just a place of where you've sort of released all the need to go, the need to control things, the need to, things have to be this way, they should be that way. When you can do that and you can bring yourself back into presence, into a self-loving state of just giving yourself a moment to decompress, release those things that aren't helping you, and renew your mind, move back into your heart. It's sort of like there's a heart and head integration that happens when you can slow down and just be in each moment as they are. And I like to say, I want to move through my moments with joy. I want to enjoy my moments. I don't want to be in suffering, right? Which one of us want to be in suffering? No one. And I'm not saying that even in the hardest moments, things won't come up and be challenging, but you get to choose how you want to move through that. So and if you're in that loving space for yourself and others around you, if you can renew yourself back into that place where you remember that we hold on to so much stuff that really doesn't matter. It really doesn't. And until we get into that mindset or that knowing, that attitude, that it's really, those words don't really envelop it well enough. It's more of a heart space of openness. And when you're in that space, you're open. So when the right things come in at the right moment, it's just automatic. You know what to do. You do it with ease, grace, and love. It's easy. You feel inspired as you're doing it. It's just a whole different way of living that it's beautiful when you can find your way to it. So this is where we're trying to get. This is what I'm trying to help you recognize, feel, be in your life. And it all comes from paying attention, trying to be still, trying to be the observer of your life. And when things aren't serving you, when they aren't what you want to be doing anymore, then let's pay attention to that and let's try to not be hard on ourselves, because again, it's about self-love, knowing, being your own best friend, being the one that you inspire yourself. You feel amazing moving forward. So I like to look at, when things are challenging and hard, I like to look at them as like gifts for me to be like, whoa, let me come back into my center. Let me come back into my still point, my 0 point. Let me come back into my heart space. If you can drop into that anywhere, anytime, your life is going to get so much easier. And it's finding ways to move through it and how we move through it. So it's been a challenging time, I feel like, at least for me, the last few weeks. So I just wanted to bring this up in hopes that somebody else needs to hear this. And yeah, I want to help us all move through things exactly the way I was saying. So I love you guys, and I will be hopping on again to give you some more insights and input into this. If you have any thoughts, comments, ideas, put them in the comments, and please like, comment, share if you find this helpful to you. And yeah, sending you guys so much love. Take your deep breaths throughout your day. Observe what's going on. And remember, everything's okay. You're okay. You're an infinite being. You've just come into this body. You've come into this identity for a little while. And it is truly supposed to be fun if you can find your way out of the suffering. You can be there. I'm working on it too. It's a constant renewal of self, renewal of love, renewal of moving through it in a way that feels expansive rather than contracting. That's another thing to pay attention to. How are you feeling? Are you um, feeling like things are moving in an expansive way, or are they contracting? If they're contracting, oftentimes there's a message in it that you need to realign yourself. You need to renew yourself to what are you doing? How do you want to move through it? How do you want to feel? And it's an incremental step. And it's like I said, observing it and not judging it, not judging yourself, not judging others, just moving through it, knowing that it will change. And like I said, switch things up. If you don't like how things are, go out for a walk. Go do something you enjoy. Go do something that is creative for you, that's going to shake up your energy and put you back into a space of feeling different than where you are in your stuckness and your overwhelm and your um, I just call it a suffering state, because I mean, is that really where we want to be? Is that really where we want to be living? This life is like way too short. Even though it can seem like it's long, it's and things may move slowly, it is not that long. So it moves faster than you think. And the older you get, the faster it moves. So just a little, let's be in the moment. Let's be how we want to be moving through things as often as we can. And if you're not, that's okay. That's your reminder to get back into that aligned space, renew yourself, observe, pay attention. A lot of times things are coming up to be released so that you can move past them or move past them on a new level, on a new and a higher understanding and a higher heart, mind, integrative consciousness. So I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. And hang in there. If things are tough, if they're not tough, then just you're doing awesome. No matter what you're doing, I just want to remind you that you're doing awesome. So thank you. I love you guys.